Welcome to the Unconventional Investor Podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Moses, certified financial planner, licensed realtor, and founder of Me Financial. If you're an accredited investor feeling overwhelmed by managing your portfolio and looking for alternative investment strategies that go beyond the traditional stock market, you're in the right place. Let's head into today's episode so you can start taking control of your financial future. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. I am Michelle Moses, your host. It's going to be a solo episode today. I have a few things I want to talk about. We're going to be talking about things that I notice in people that have money. And this, not necessarily that they're uber rich, but that they're comfortable, they don't worry about money, and they have enough. Money just seems to flow to them. It just seems to work out. And over the years, I've said on the show before that I really feel like I got into this industry because I needed to learn a lot about money and in my own life. And obviously, I've learned a lot of things over the years, and I have noticed a lot of behaviors in meeting with people. And the first one that I would say is the most prominent is that they just know that it will work out. They know that the money will be there. I have heard countless times, like, it'll just work out. It's going to be okay. The money is always there. They just expect it to be there. Like, you've got to pave the road of expectation. If you were to expect for bad people to be out there, you're probably going to see some bad people out there versus seeing some good things, and you're probably going to see good things. So it's the same thing. Whereas I've seen a lot of my clients, they just expect it to be good. And there's things that they've done in their life that it works out that way, and we'll get to that. But their overall attitude is just that it's going to be okay and that the money is always there. And again, I think that's balanced with the way that they live their life. And that's my second point, is that they don't care so much about the flashy cars and the house. Some of them do about certain things, but not all of it. Okay, so it might be about cars. It might be, but it's more like centered on things. And you need to be in mind with who I work with, the millionaires next door. Okay, I'm not working with the people that are all super flashy. So my millionaires next door, they might spend it on vacations, and that's where they splurge. And so then they're driving like the Volkswagen, and they end up leasing it for $100 a month or something like that, just because it's cheap. So they've set up their life so that they're not stressed out. And so that's why they can say it always works out. Like, why not? Because I have it set up like this. So it's like layers, but they do expect the money to be there. And then also they live in an intentional way, I think is the way that we need to put it. It's very intentional in what they spend their money on, and it's very intentional where they're saving their money and how they're saving it. And that brings us to the next point, is that they're always saving. They're always saving in a different way. They're saving into their 401k or their IRAs, and then they're also saving into another account. Where I have one client where we were just saving $600 a month for years. And then all of a sudden in retirement, it's a little stressful when you're going into retirement because you're going from earning to spending money. So that is a very hard transition for people to go through. It's very panic inducing. And so when there is a big like plumbing issue that costs $35,000 in their home, they were a little panicked. And what kind of saved the day was this savings account that we saved $600 a month in for. We had no idea what we were saving it for. It was just, hey, we're 7 years out from retirement. We're making extra money. Let's just put it in the savings account so that we have it for things like this. And that was especially what we were saving it for, was just air conditioners and things that happen on the house, or if they needed a new car, because when you retire, that stuff doesn't go away. And here is another one that is more emotional. So what I notice about people with money is that they do not vilify the rich. They do not look at them and speak badly of them, that the economy is rigged against me. Of course they did, because their parents were rich, which sometimes there is a little bit of that. But if you're looking at a 24-year-old buying a $2 million house, then yes, sometimes, most of the time, it is family money. But the older people and that they're looking at that might have money, you are not vilifying the rich or saying all rich people are bad. Why? And it goes back to like, why, if you're talking badly about people with money, then why would you ever want money? Like, you're basically saying to yourself, I don't want money because I don't want to be like that person. And so you really got to watch that language, and because it really puts you into like a victim mentality, as in, I just can't have money. And so you don't want to do that. For me, I feel like the hardest part, and I think this is just it, there's being broke, then there's doing okay, and then there's like just really trying to get to the next level to where you can take really great vacations and buy whatever car you want. Getting to that next level is the hardest. And so what I'm telling you is the people that have gotten to that next level and they don't worry about money. They're not just off, but they're able to do whatever they want, take the vacations they want. But what's ironic about it too is like, even when people retire or they get to that point, there's still things that you're going to pay attention to and not spend money on. Some people don't care about cars or clothes or facials or whatever, sporting teams and tickets to things. So it just really depends on the person. So the next thing that I have on here is that what I feel like people with money is that they understand money. They try to figure it out if they don't know it. So everything is figure outable, essentially. So it's not like they're panicked about how does the savings account work or how does a mutual fund work. If they want to know about it, they learn about it and read about it or listen to podcasts or whatever way that you get your information. They tend to know about how things work and then invest in those things. So if they don't understand it, they're not going to invest in it. They might if they sometimes they have, but most of the time it's if they understand it, or if I say, no, I really love this and you have to invest in this, because I get pretty passionate about things. But yeah, they tend to understand how the economy works and do research. I'd say the worst clients that I've ever had, and I think I've said this before, are the ones that come to me and say, okay, you just do it. I just can't deal with this. And you just make all the decisions and I just trust you. And that's awesome that they just trust me. What an honor. That's very cool that they do. But it doesn't work. It never works because it is your money. It's always your money. Even if you come to work with me, it is your money. And so we have to make decisions together on it. My job is to throw some things out and see what may fit your goals. And so you got to take ownership of your money, because otherwise, when you're just pushing it off and having somebody else make the decisions, you're setting yourself up to be a victim. You are not taking responsibility for your money. Like, you need to learn about how it works, what it's like to spend money, what it's like to maybe be in debt. That's how I was. I know it sounds crazy, but like, I had never had a credit card in college. And I was like, I just want to have a credit card. And I got $600 in debt. And I was like, oh, I didn't really like, it was a lesson. Like, I had no idea, how am I going to pay this off? What am I going to do? But it's a lesson. That's how you learn. And so you got to be willing to get out there and try some things. And I would say the last thing is that I would say that people with money and have reached that higher level is that they are intentional. They always have the long game in mind. Like, they know what their goals are. They know that they would really love to travel 3 to 4 times a year to such and such and such. They have done the research. They're interested in learning about things. You know, it's just a slow process. The saving, the putting things in line. I see so many people when they don't have money, they're like looking for, oh, I just saw this guy, doing with the real estate investing where you assume not assuming the loans, but it's the as is, or I'm totally butchering it right now. I should have written it down, and I'm not going to say his name, but anyway, so you go in and it's all these things about like how you can get rich quick, or how like I should invest in crypto and I'm going to get rich quick. And it's just not like that. Like it is a slow, intentional process of saving, of making decisions about where you were going to spend your money, about not making it like a diet, like where you just go and splurge and then eat the cake. Whereas what I would say is that you go out and you just spend a bunch of money because you've been like holding back for so long. So it's just really paying attention to your relationship with money. And I know I always come back to this, but money is so much like food and working out, like identical. It is identical. Like you've got to work on it in the same way. Like it has taken me how many years to quit lemonade and Coke and the drinking kind of Coke and to quit. It is the same thing with money. Oh, I'm going to start this. Okay, now I'm going to start this crypto account. Okay, now we're going to do a self-directed account and we're going to loan money for this house. It's just a slow and intentional process about learning what is important to you in life and then also learning about finance. So anyway, this whole episode started because it was just always fascinating to me that I always go back to my mindset because it just struck me so much when this client said one time, and this is years ago, I want to say 15, 20 years ago, said she was just like, it'll be there. It'll be fine. It's always there. It always shows up. And I was like, wow. That is like an awesome mindset to have. And it truly has been okay for them. And things just pop out of the woodwork. She'll call and say, look at what happened. I'm like, I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if she just won the lottery like 10 times. Stuff just happens and she just has a positive outlook. And I know this has been like, this is not new stuff that I'm telling you. And so that's where the desire for doing this episode came from, is that I've wanted to talk about her mindset specifically, and then it expanded into these other things of the way that I see. And again, I am not working with the people that make $30 million a year. I work with everyday people that become millionaires, multimillionaires, and some of them are doing good and making $1 million a year. Like they're doing good. But again, I feel like I call them normal people. And that's who I feel like I work with. And so these are the tendencies that I see with those people. So I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. And I'm looking for, and to switch gears a little bit, I'm looking to switch the podcast a little bit. I'd love to have another person on here to where we can talk about some things that are going on in the world or just things that we've seen. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this solo episode. I'm hoping to have like just some guests to where we can just riff about some things, kind of like I do with Andy, my other guest. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for listening. This is a lot of fun to do, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you for listening to the Unconventional Investor Podcast. I hope you feel more confident in how you can grow your wealth using the strategies I shared in this episode. If you're ready to take the next step in diversifying your portfolio outside the stock market with alternative investments, head to mefinancial.net/contact us to book a 15-minute consult call with me. Let's discuss how we can work together to achieve your financial goals. Until then, I'll see you on the next episode.